Clerk.
Item 16, House Joint Resolution 477 by Senator Johnson.
Leader Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this resolution will designate May 21st of 2021 as International Tennessee Whiskey Day. I move concurrence.
Motion is to concur. Is there discussion? Senator Nicely. This is going to be good.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to stand up here. I get a little feedback back under the balcony. I'm going to give you a little history on a famous history speech, whiskey speech. Some of you have heard it, I'm sure, but it's short. It won't take me too long. I'm a slow reader, but I can make it. It was written by a state representative down in Mississippi back in the 1950s when they were trying to discuss whether or not to repeal prohibition. And the state representative later went on to be a judge. His name was Noah Sweat. They called him Soggy Sweat. Went to be a fairly famous judge. And someone asked him what he thought about whiskey. And it caught him off guard, and I will attempt to read the speech. He says, "My friends, I had not intended to discuss this controversial subject at this particular time. However, I want you to know that I do not shun controversy. On the contrary, I will take a stand on any issue at any time, regardless of how fraught with controversy it might be. You have asked me how I feel about whiskey. All right, here is how I feel about whiskey. If when you say whiskey, you mean the devil's brew, the poison scourge, the bloody monster that defiles innocence, dethrones reason, destroys the home, creates misery and poverty, yea, literally takes the bread from the mouths of little children. If you mean the evil drink that topples a Christian man and woman from the pinnacle of righteousness, gracious living, into the bottomless pit of degradation, despair, and shame, and helplessness, and hopelessness, then certainly I am against it. But on the other hand, when few say whiskey, you mean the oil of the conversation, the philosophic wine, the ale that is consumed when good fellows get together, that puts a song in their hearts and laughter on their lips and the warm glow of contentment in their eyes. If you mean Christmas cheer, if you mean the stimulating drink that puts the spring in the old gentleman's step on a frosty, crispy morning, if you mean the drink which enables a man to magnify his joy and his happiness and to forget, if only for a little while, life's great tragedies, heartaches, and sorrows, if you mean that drink, the sale from which pours into our treasuries untold millions of dollars, which are used to provide tender care for our little crippled children, our blind, our deaf, our dumb, our pitiful aged and infirm, to build highways and hospitals and schools, then certainly I am for it. This is my stand. I will not retreat from it, and I will not compromise. Thank you.
Cheers. I think you just made the Tennessee Journal again. Further discussion? Ready for the question? Mr. Clerk. Those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. Let every member cast their vote when the bell rings. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? Mr. Clerk, take the vote.
Ayes 26, 1 nay.
House Joint Resolution 477, having received the constitutional majority, I declare it passed. Without objection, the motion to reconsider goes to the table.